segment of our program is a presentation of an art concept or art project called The Four Elements. And here to talk about it and present it to you, we have artist Ulla Sivhed and composer Vasily Nepklov. Take it away.
Okay, hello, welcome. Okay, I'm working as an artist, and I've been working with this art project called The Four Elements for about 4 years now. It revolves around the four elements like fire, earth, air, and water. The whole project is about the worries about the global environment. Så frågan är nu.
Yes, my name is Vasily Nepklov, and I'm a metalhead actually, but I also freelance as a composer and sound designer. I've been doing I've created music and sound design for Ulla's art installations, and I also helped Ulla film and document his art. So,
okay, I would like to read a text which tells everything about this project. So, the foundation of the four elements lies in the four installations: earth, water, fire, and air. All the elements are powerful, life-giving, and essentials for our survival. It is a constant shift in form, and the elements affect and trigger each other. Since the elements are difficult to tame, films about each installation were created. With the film, the essence of the constantly changing elements have been captured. At each exhibition, at least one of the installation will always be highlighted and allowed to physically take place. So that's pretty much how I would like to describe it. We would like to start to show a trailer which give you an idea about the whole project. So please.
Every day we are constantly reminded about the global situation by the media. There is something deeply human in how we choose to handle this information, to turn a blind eye just to get through the day. I'm currently working on an art project that revolves around the four elements. This time I took a step away from paint and brushes to create with the forces of nature. With these installations, I would like to raise concern for the environment as one of 8 billion citizens of our planet. I want to inspire politicians and other influential figures. I believe in the future, science, education, and mankind's ability to solve the problems we face. We are on this journey together. This is about our planet. This is about our home.
Okay, so I would like to Today we will discuss how we created this element, like the theme of water. It's different components that together work, that work together to have this installation in place. The artistic idea with it is to create an ice ball, which we will come to that later. So the installation is this ice ball. Inside of the ice there is the human heart, like this, standing in the platform with the surface, with the map, the world map, actually, in relief. So that's what I would like to say about that right now.
So what does this have to do with design? During my 4 years of university studies, I came across some design, mainly research through design, research in design. And I recognize this as a very typical design process because Ulla had a very clear goal, which was to be able to freeze a sphere of ice, which is not that easy. Because there's basically no equipment, well, no cheap equipment that exists that we could get our hands on to do that. So what Ulla did was, with that clear goal in mind, he tried different approaches and different techniques to freeze the ice. And then when he was finished with one technique, he would analyze the results, see what went well and what went wrong. And then he drew conclusions and adjusted his trajectory to try something new and something better. And this is a very typical design process.
Yeah.
So how did it all start?
Okay, so to create this installation, I started with the center of the installation, which is the human heart, which I did in clay, in a 3D model. And I did this because I have seen this heart made of glass in the end, but I couldn't do it on my own in glass in that time, so I created it in clay, and that was to make a mold, to be able to cast it in glass. So this is the result of that part. Yeah. So the heart is placed on the end of the pipe, which allows a light to go through fiber optics from the base up into the heart, which is placed in the center of the ice globe. So when we did the first test, we got yeah, there it is. So that's the first test with the glass pipe, but we didn't want it. We would like the red light in the center of the ice globe. So after this has been done, we started with the ice, and in the beginning I was trying with balloons, which it worked, but it was a balloon with papier-mâché, and it took weeks to do them, and it didn't really work that way, and the shape of them become a bit odd. We want this perfect sphere, but it's more like a drip shape. So we have to continue with other solutions. The next solution we tried was to use Pilates balls. A bit thicker, a bit more stable, not stable enough. So I needed to make them stronger with fiberglass. On the picture you can see, because of when the water freezes, it expands 9.7%, which make the cost of the mold crack. And we wanted a solution that we could use over and again. And that's because of an exhibition is at least 4 weeks. And each ice ball will take 1 week to melt down. So we need to change them each week.
we're going to show you a movie how it looked like, what the result looked like with this technique.
Okay, so this is how heavy they are. It takes about 14 days to freeze this kind of big sphere, which is a bit too long if you want to change them each week. So we try to take down the freezing process to make it shorter. And it was shorter, but it became milky. And that's not the thing, that's not how we want it to look like. So instead, this is how we want it to look. This is a perfect ice. It will be milky as we put it in place in the exhibition, but after 1 hour, you can start to see about 1 decimeter into the ice. Inside of the ice, the heart is still hidden in a kind of a cloud. And that's good. That's what I want, because in the beginning, when you put it in place, it's massive, it's fantastic, it's precious. As it melts, it's not that precious. But in the meantime, the heart becomes visible. And the light of this heart is a symbol for the planet, the heart of the planet. And it's also an indicator of time running. So it's like tick-tock.
So yeah, and since the ice became milky, we needed a new technique to make the ice more clear. So what was the next step?
Yeah, first we need to find a way to do a mold that accepts that the ice is expanding. So, what picture? Yeah, okay, so in this case we have 3 forms to do, allowed the cast to hold, or to the mold to hold. So in the center, we got the heart. We take a big balloon. If you blow it up, it will be 4 meters. So it's thick and strong. Then we put it inside of the plastic sphere, which is in 2 parts. The box in the top and the bottom is supporting all of those molds. So when the ice freezes, it allows it to expand a bit.
And then and that allows us to reuse the form over and over again.
Yeah.
So we would like to show you a short clip of how this freezing process looked like at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a picture of the final result that we want. The heart is hidden inside of the cloudy interior of the ice globe. And we also can see the map with water. So, I think I have missed it all. The idea is when the ice melts, it drips down to this relief of the map of Earth, and the sea level rises against the map. So that's the whole idea.
So yeah, when we got this result, we were very happy, but it posed a new problem with this freezing technique. And we actually documented the problem. So this is what happened.
Okay,
That's what I call a spicy meaty ball.
Oh my God.
Snygg!
Yeah.
59,5. Jävlar.
Yeah.
Hello.
So tell us about the problem. Why did it crack and explode?
As I told you, we're trying to take down the freezing period because we want it to be 7 days so we can swip it to the exhibition. So in the process to shorten the time, we took it out a bit too early. And with this cast, we put the whole mold inside of a fridge house. So the freezing, the coolness comes from the outside, which make the water freezes in a shell. As the next part of water freezes, it expands and break the outside, and that process go all the way in, which make it beautiful. It's those cracks is very delicious, but
It's beautiful.
we took it out, and as we see it, there was just little water still left in the center of the installation. And the freezing process continued, even though we have took it out from the freeze, but there's so much cool ice surrounding the water, so that it was still going on. And that was happened. That was what's happened in this case. Oh, this hurts.
So
it's a lot of work to have it in place.
Yeah. So what's our next step?
Yeah. Now, because of the problem I told you about the ice is freezing, cracking, freezing, cracking, the idea would be to force the ice to freeze from one direction. We would like that process to start in the bottom of this new cast mold. So we forces the water the ice to push out the water that hasn't been frozen yet, and it will come up in the top of the cast.
Instead of like capturing it inside the outer shell that freezes, so it pushes it out, whatever's not frozen.
Yeah, and this is early stage of this ice machine that we hope we will have in place in a couple of months. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, sorry. So if we manage to have a machine that can bring us an ice globe each week, that will be a very good and successful result for the future and for next exhibition.
Yeah. So yes, I would like to take some time to talk about the creative process behind the music and sound design I did for Ola's art. So here you can see two covers of 2 albums that I've released. One is with music for each installation, for each element. And the other one is a soundtrack for the documentary we did about Ola's work. The documentary will be playing here during Saturday and Sunday, so you can watch it if you're still here. It will be showing throughout the whole day, like from 11 to 6, together with some other works. You can also find it online. Just look for T4E documentary and you'll find it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of film music, so it's been an honor to have this task of representing each element. It's a big thing, worldly thing, to represent it in music. So when I worked with the theme, it all started with Ola and me meeting at a dinner, a midsummer celebration 2 years ago. And Ola, we just ended up sitting next to each other, and he showed me the element of fire, which was mighty and impressive. So I got very inspired. I went home, and I basically created a whole piece for the theme of fire in 3 hours, sent it to Ola. The next day I get a phone call, and he's like, buddy, you got a job. So yeah, and it's been an honor doing this since then. For the theme of water, I was playing around with guitar, trying to find some idea for the water theme. And I had something going on, so I thought I'm going to record it and see if I can work with it and build on it. So as I recorded it, it sounded good, I was happy, and then I started creating more. And then I realized something was wrong, something wasn't matching with the guitar that I created. And I suddenly realized that it was a very odd time signature. For those of you that don't know music theory, like a lot of popular music goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I did was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a little bit odd. But it was a sign for me because it kind of represents the uneven flow of water as an element. So I kept it, and the whole piece is in 5-time signature. So I also used like very high piano notes to symbolize the drip drops of the ice melting. I have some harp in some parts that also helps with the flow of the piece. And then I build it up gradually and then I let it go. So it kind of like waves the whole piece. So it's been really fun.
You should tell something about the theme of Earth, I think.
Yeah, the theme of Earth. Ola had a request. He wanted to have the sound of rocks crushing against each other in the background of the music, in the theme of Earth. And I was like, okay, so let me get some rocks and let me record them and see how it sounds. So I brought some rocks home and I recorded them, and rocks did not sound like rocks, which is pretty common in sound design. Like for example, for snow you use like plastics, the thing that comes around your TV when you buy it, so you use that for snow. So it was a similar situation. I didn't know what to do, so I started to look around the apartment to see what I could find that might resemble rocks. And finally, I found my girlfriend's pitong bowls. So yeah, I basically brought out the mic again, put on my headphones, sat down on my couch, and started throwing the pitong bowls around, smashing them.
There's nothing strange with that.
No, perfectly. Another day at the office. Another day at the office, yeah. So, and that gave us the result. It sounded like rocks, very cool and fun. So, yeah. And for the theme of fire, for example, I used distortion guitars because it adds this sharpness and power to the element. And for the theme of air, I used female vocals. So I brought my girlfriend in again. So she helped me both with 2 elements. And the light, like very high female voice, helped create the theme of air. So yeah.
Very good done.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Let's do this.
So now we would like to show you the result of our work. So I hope you will enjoy the T4E film with the theme of water. No need for that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. This art project has already had its premiere. It took place in Victoria on the Seychelles, the
National
summer of
Museum.
2023. It was impressed with the president of the Seychelles, Mr. Wavell Ramkalawan. So it was a good experience. First time, a lot of work, and it went very well. There was a small group of people. As I went home to Sweden again, the exhibition will last for about 3 weeks longer. And there was a group of people from the Venice Biennale, which leads to I have an invitation to show this installation in Venice 2024. Yeah. It's a couple of steps before it's true, because we have to finance the thing. We have started a Kickstarter account and a fundraising, and we're looking for funding for this project.
We also have an exhibition this summer.
True. In Simrishamn. Simrishamn is having a 900 years birthday, and I will have a exhibition in the summer in Simrishamn at Gösta Werner Museet. And it will be a full scale, because it's a quite big space, so I will bring all the elements. If you would like to discuss the project or have any kind of questions, please take contact with me, Vasily, or Jonna.
Our producer.
Our producer or manager. Yeah. So thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. I love seeing artists' projects. It's like you're inventors. You're inventing like everything from scratch just to come to this final vision. Yeah, so that's all that we have for today's program. So this is goodbye from us at Sun Sweden Design Day Studio. And if you would like to see any part of the program again, you can see all of it at sunswedendesigndays.com. So thank you again.